everybody. And let me welcome our two secretaries here, and also Barbara Bush, who's long been interested in literacy, and the members of Congress. As a nation, we have great educational needs, and those needs don't stop at the schoolhouse door. In this America 2000 strategy that Lamar and I and Lynn and others here in the Congress have been working on, we're committed to a world-class education for today's and tomorrow's kids, and we're just as concerned with today's workers and parents. 85% of America's workers for the year 2000 are already in the workforce, and many of them need help to improve their job skills, to learn how to be better parents, neighbors, citizens, community leaders, friends. And that means recommitting ourselves to literacy for all Americans. Education is not just about making a living. It's also about making a life. And literacy is where education begins. I first understood the truth of that statement by watching Barbara in her work that still continues, working her heart out for literacy. And I understood it even better when I stood at the National Literacy Honor Celebration last year and shook the hands of grown men and women who changed the course of their lives by learning how to read. I've learned that the tears of joy in their eyes are only the beginning of the difference that literacy makes for all of us as individuals and as a nation. And that's why the governors and I established a national education goal for adult literacy and lifelong learning. Goal 5 states that by the year 2000, every adult American will be literate and will possess the knowledge and skill necessary to compete in a global economy and exercise the rights and responsibilities of citizenship. Well, that's an impressive goal, and one that we move closer to reaching today. And so I'm delighted to sign into law our first major step toward a fully literate America, a historic national commitment to literacy. This bill is truly national. It creates a network for literacy that starts here in my cabinet with the cooperative effort of every agency that has a real stake in literacy. And it reaches out into every region and state of our country because literacy is a need that knows no boundaries. A literate workforce is crucial to the future of our economy, and the future of our children rests on the literacy of their parents, who are their first teachers. The future of our democracy depends on an informed, literate populace. Thomas Jefferson said that a nation that expects to be ignorant and free expects what never was and never will be. And I'm happy to say that this piece of legislation, and you can tell that from this unlikely array of congressmen and senators joined together here. But it's really important. This is bipartisan in the best sense of the word. And it was developed with the wise counsel of the American people, educators and business leaders, some of whom are with us today, public officials, and private citizens. And it is my great hope and belief that this legislation will provide the means for us to become the most literate, productive nation on earth. And it is another step the administration and Congress will be taking toward the full implementation of America 2000. And now, therefore, it is my pleasure to sign into law H.R. 751, the National Literacy Act, and I'd like to invite the senators and members of the House that are with us today to kind of come up here, if you would, while we do this. It's painless and short. Thank you all very much for your help.
And I think Barbara ought to get the pen, Mr. President.
That's a great idea. very, very much.
Mr. President, I want you to meet one person, Gloria Waddles, at the age of 45, learned how to read and write, and she was a great witness. Gloria, come up
Come
and meet
say
the
hello.
president.
Yes, absolutely.
And Mrs. Bush.
Tell us your story.
I'm Sonia Linton. I started graduating when I was 40. I'm from Prince George's County.
You don't look 40 yet, so. That's wonderful. Now say hello to these senators here.
I'm so proud.
Do we have any others that have
Yes.
learned to read as adults? But anyway, you're a great example, and thank you so very much for being with us. Good to see you, sir. Good, go on. Well,
Why they were so nice about me.
Good to see you. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I got it.
Oh, okay, all right.
Your collaboration. Thank you.
See you in the morning. Yeah.